What it do? Dream Team, it's your boy D Neal back with another reaction video. Here we are with Stephan. How I see the US after living in Germany. American freedom is fake. Oh wow. That's a strong statement to make, Jay. We're finna find out why you think that. Before we jump in, make sure you subscribe to the channel, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Social media, Patreon, all up top. You can subscribe to any of it, put all the links in the description. All you gotta do is hit the link, follow me, talk to me. I'm human. I talk back. If you guys got a favorite video suggestion, you can subscribe to Patreon or in the description section there's a Google form link. What we got, Jay?
Hi guys, so today I have something on my mind. I always have something on my mind, but today I want to talk to you guys about freedom, the American freedom. And with this, I also want to talk about a subset of Americans from the United States of America that feel that their nation, this great nation, is the only nation in the world that has true freedom. Well, I think their idea of freedom is skewed, and they live in a bubble. They are selfish. For me, the type of freedom in the United States of America is not really true freedom. It's not exactly what people believe it to be. In addition, I don't think that this is the type of freedom which fosters a healthy democracy. Why do I want to talk about this today? It's because a couple of days ago, we traveled from Germany to California after spending 6 months in Europe. So if you are new here, I am Jay, my other half is Stephan, and together we are Stephan. We live happy.
Oh, I thought that was his last name. Like Stephan was his other half is Stephan. Okay, but it's intriguing. I like his calm demeanor. You feel me? I rock with that, Jay. But yeah, he said. I mean, there's a subset of Americans who believe like they have true freedom and they're the only nation in the world who have this freedom, but they live in a bubble. Like I don't. He said their vision of freedom is skewed, and I don't believe that's real freedom the way they think it is. And so keep going, Jay.
I am Jay, my other half is Stephan, and together we are Stephan. We live half a year in Germany, and the other half we live in California. So right now we are back in California for the next 6 months. Having spent a big chunk of our time in Europe, when I got on the plane this time, nearly every passenger on the plane was American. And what happened on the plane, what I saw, what I heard, I have a story to tell. Before we get into the story, let me tell you a little bit about our travel. It was actually fairly easy. We flew Lufthansa, and we have flown Lufthansa predominantly, I would say probably 90% of the time for the past 15 years, going back and forth between Germany and California. And it is by far my favorite airlines, even after all those years. The service is always top notch. The food is always amazing, I think. I know a lot of people out there do not like airplane food, but I don't mind it. My mom was with us, and she is 80 years old. They took really good care of her. We had ordered a wheelchair for her. That made it very easy because she's not able to walk for too long. And when you fly international, the walk between gates can be massive. We flew from Munich to Frankfurt and Frankfurt to Denver, and from Denver to Southern California. Double connections are very difficult, but we flew business class and we didn't have to pay for the flight. And this is something that I mentioned before.
That look business. Give me a business class. I'm out here flying commercial
class, and we didn't have to pay for the flight. And this is something that I mentioned before. I will put out a video, hopefully next week, on how we travel for free. We only pay taxes, and we've only flown business or first for the entire 15 years that we've been going back and forth. It was a free flight, so
Jay, yeah. Let me get the link to that video, Jay. How y'all pulling that off? I need to know. Is it something everyone can do and most people just don't know about it or too lazy to do it or talk to me,
For
Jay.
the entire 15 years that we've been going back and forth.
Free is
It
my
was a
favorite
free
word.
flight, so there were no complaints, and we flew business, so there were absolutely no complaints. From Munich to Frankfurt was a small standard, I think it was maybe a 737, I can't recall. And from Frankfurt to Denver, it was a much bigger plane. There were only two cabins, business class and economy. When we got on the plane, I noticed that nearly every passenger was American. This is where the story starts. So directly in front of us, there was this American couple, and they had a twang in their tone. You could tell they were from somewhere from the South, somewhere from the Midwest. And to the left, Stephan sat with another gentleman. He was American. And then to the right, I could also hear that these were two American men sitting next to us. The couple in front of us were a very cliche American that most Europeans have this idea of. And spending 6 months in Europe and then getting on a plane and then seeing this, they were loud, they were obnoxious, they were demanding. And the reason I say demanding is, for example, when the flight attendant came to ask them initially when they were serving drinks, she asked them, "What would you like for a drink?" And instead of saying, "Can I please have?" or "Could I please have?" "Can you please bring me?" their reaction was, "Bring me a champagne." And I was sitting there, I was like, wow, this is crazy. And that's when I started thinking,
That's demanding. That he's always bring me a champagne. Unless he said it in a rude tone, I don't see that as demanding. I see that as answering a question. Me personally, I'm sorry. I wasn't there. He was there, so he probably knows the tone of how it was said and everything. And so unless if it was in a rude tone, then I completely agree. If not, then just said bring me a champagne.
this is
I would say
crazy.
please.
And that's when I started thinking, wow, I hear this all of the time, quite often when I'm here in the USA. I hear it more often than not when people say, "I will have, give me this, bring me this." It's almost a sense of condescending and demanding. And it really bothered me. I really wanted to get up and tell them, "Can you please be fucking less rude and be appreciative that someone is actually serving you?"
Okay, he had to have said it in a rude tone. He had to have said it in a rude tone.
And be appreciative that someone is actually serving you. But I bit my tongue and I was like, just let it go. And the gentleman who was sitting next to Stephan, because I was sitting with mom in the middle two seats, they asked him, same exact answer. Bring me whatever he ordered. Especially the couple that was sitting in front of us, I could hear every conversation and every exchange that they had with the flight attendant. It was just awful. It made my ears bleed. When it came to dinner time, the wife asked the flight attendant, "What is this?" And it was an Indian entree. And the flight attendant said, "Oh," and he explained it, what it was. I believe he assumed that she knew what Indian food was. So she said, "Well, I don't know. What is it? What kind of food is it?" And then he said, "Oh, this is Indian food. And it's a little bit spicy. It's really good." And her response was, "Well, I don't know. What is Indian?" Are you fucking kidding me right now? You don't know what is Indian food? What planet do you live on?
I don't think I've ever tried Indian food myself, honestly. But I wouldn't have asked out. I would have just ate the food. Unless she got certain allergies to something or so I would have just ate the food. That's me though. Yeah, I feel where you're coming from, Jay. I don't know what Indian food is though. I'm from the South, and that might be why. And I've never really been out of the South. Actually a couple times, but I've never tried it. Now I want to try it.
Don't know what is Indian food. What planet do you live on? What universe do you live on? Seriously, how could you not know? Have you not heard of a country named India? I wonder if they knew Chinese food and if they know Chinese food actually comes from China or Vietnamese food actually comes from Vietnam. I just couldn't believe it. It was so unbelievable to me. And the arrogance that these people still had
Was she
in their...
questioning like where the food was? Like, I guess I think I'm not comprehending the question. She said, "What is Indian food? Food from India?" I get, yeah. And she probably meant like what kind of foods, like what kind of foods are from me, like. I don't know an easier way to. Maybe I agree with Jay. I don't know an easier way to break that down. Well, I guess when you think American food, you think, oh, it's a cheeseburger. This is a hot dog. This is. You say it like that. So Indian food, like, what's a common food from India? I guess is what I'm asking because.
Unbelievable to me. And the arrogance that these people still had in their voice, in their demanding, in their demeanor.
See the tone.
And yet,
in their voice, in their demeanor. Oh, so I wasn't there. Jay was there. So it was a rude tone, arrogant attitude, arrogant demeanor. Okay, so that makes sense.
In their voice, in their demanding, in their demeanor, and yet you don't know what Indian food is. You have no clue. You don't know what India is. Literally no words. Literally, like no words. Like, are you seriously kidding me right now? And at this point, I could tell these were the type of Americans that are so gung-ho about America, the free nation, the greatest nation in the world, and yet they have no clue of what's going on in the rest of the world. And they don't even have any clue of what's going on in their own country. The only thing that they know, that they've brought up with, is America the Great, and we are the best. Everything seems to be almost white supremacist, and this is the vibe that I got from them. And this is the vibe that my mother got from them as well. And she doesn't really care about any of these things. And she felt uncomfortable. It was making me upset and angry that this is what I was going back to. And it's an unfair statement to say that because there are beautiful people in the United States of America. There are really nice Americans. But there is such a huge population of Americans like this that is making this nation look bad. I don't know how else to put it. They're arrogant, they're assholes, and they are selfish, and they're clueless. And people like this, like the couple that were sitting in front of us, are the type of people here in the United States of America that are so gung-ho about their country, like America is the best, that their freedom is like none other freedom in the entire world. And I absolutely disagree with that. I think that is just pure bullshit. This is the type of mentality that has been a culprit of the fall of America. And then they don't understand this. They don't even realize it. They don't even know this. The United States of America has actually been in a decline since the 1970s. And there are many documents you can find online that support this theory that America has been falling since the 1970s. These people are so...
Are they decline like economically or like morally, financially? I get what he's saying. I get what there is a large group of Americans who are arrogant, who are just are rude and they're very gung ho about America. I'm not upset about anybody being gung ho about their country, but when you're so gung ho to a point where I guess you don't really know what's going on in the country, you don't know anything. It's me because I don't personally see. If someone annoys me or I see someone that is arrogant, I usually just like ignore it. But I understand where he's coming from at the same time. He's saying this group of people is a group of people that is giving America a bad rap. This is a group of people that were raised with America's the greatest country in the world. It's the best nation in the world. Only country with true freedom. While so many other countries have freedom. Like, we're not the only country with freedom. So many other countries have freedom. And so I understand where you're coming from, Jay. I got you, my guy.
Has been falling since the 1970s. These people are so blinded by freedom. I don't think they even understand what freedom really is. Do they not remember how fucked up this country was just half a century ago? And I really want to ask them sometimes, are you talking about the freedom where the color of your skin was a factor on who could vote? Or are you talking about the freedom where the color of your skin was a factor in which drinking fountain you could drink out of? Wait, I'm sorry. Maybe you're referring to the freedom when higher education was only limited to white Americans? You must be referring to the freedom where if you were a darker shade of skin tone, then you had to sit in the back of the bus. Wait, my bad. I keep bringing up the fucking past. So let me just talk about something current. Are you referring to the freedom to carry firearms, which actually at one point was also limited to the color of your skin? Do you know the number of people that are killed every year because of the freedom to carry a firearm? Oh wait, I'm sorry. It's actually not guns that kill people. It's actually people that kill people. Totally makes sense. So let's talk about more current issues that you probably don't even know. It's right under your nose, which is affecting your freedom. Did you know about the assassinations of the US citizens? Did you know that the government has a kill list? Did you know that the US government can conduct extrajudicial killings of US citizens? And what about indefinite detention? That totally makes sense. Does that really speak freedom? I don't think so. And I bet you probably didn't even know about warrantless searches. And the president has the...
I honestly have no idea. I didn't know about it. He educated me right now because I didn't know about these things. Like, that's absolutely crazy. And I'm not naive to think that the government is just all like, they don't get their hands dirty. Like, they're not very manipulative. They're not willing to kill to keep certain things. So I'm not so naive to think that this country is ran by the people. It's ran by the citizens. It's not. It's not. The corporations are at the top, and they basically run things, and whatever they want to happen, pay the politicians, make it happen. And so I got you, Jay.
I don't think so. And I bet you probably didn't even know about warrantless searches. And the president has the authority to do that. And people that are always chanting about the great American freedom, are you okay with that? Because I'm not. And let me throw something else out there for you. What about judicial immunity? Because everyone here in the USA who works in the judicial system or works for the government has a clean slate and has a good heart. And before any of the American viewers make a judgment on me, I could care less of if you're Democratic or Republican. I am neither, because I don't believe in these two fucked up parties. What matters is who's doing what for their country, how they're leading the country, what laws are they implementing, or what fucked up laws are they actually changing? How are they helping this country? Not to continually always play this power card that USA is the most powerful and the greatest and so forth, but actually start working with other nations and becoming part of this world collectively. That is my opinion, and I am okay with it. So with this video, what I'm trying to say is that this idea of American freedom, that the American freedom is the only freedom and the best freedom in the world, this idea is not true, and it is outdated. There are many democracies in the world that promote a healthy way of living. It fosters a healthier democracy. I do hope that one day in the future, the United States of America will become more part of the world rather than a self-proclaimed leader of the world. At least that's how some of the Americans do think today, which I think is the unhealthy side of the United States. I love both countries so much, in Germany and the United States. I do miss being in Europe, but in about another 6 months, we'll be there. Until then, we are going to enjoy every opportunity we get under the sun, under the California sun, go to the beach and hang out and see all our friends and family and get some creativity going. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.
Well, working 3 jobs, living out of a car.
Shout out Jay. That was a good video. I think when he's talking about all of those things that are like that the government can do and all of those things, I think those people who are so gung-ho about their freedom and the kind of people, I guess, that he's talking about, the certain group of people are not affected by these things. It doesn't really happen to them. So they don't when they're not affected by it, they pay no attention to it, and they do feel like they have true freedom because that doesn't affect them, that doesn't touch them, that doesn't affect their everyday lives. And so, but I definitely agree with Jay. Like, I love America. I definitely love my country, but I do agree there's a lot of messed up things that happen here. Like, there's a lot of problems that we have that need to be fixed. And so I love it, but I can also realize that we do have problems that we need to fix. But that's all we got for this one. You guys want to subscribe to the channel? If you guys got a favorite video suggestion, you can subscribe to Patreon or in the description section of the Google form link. Hit the link, fill out your suggestions, send it to me. Want me to get to yours faster, others fill out premium. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Social media, Patreon, all up top. You want to subscribe to any of it, put all the links in the description. All you got to do is hit the link, follow me, talk to me. Love talking to you guys. You guys are the most incredible team on YouTube. It's your boy Neal, out.